Hi, my name is Eric Lusgarden. In today's video, we will be deploying Apprenda 5.5 using the Apprenda Certified VM available in the Azure Marketplace. This new offering allows you to deploy a test Apprenda on Azure in a matter of minutes using a certified image. We will be installing the Express version of Apprenda with no Active Directory integration, giving you the ability to test almost all of the Apprenda functionality, such as deployment of .NET applications, resource and bootstrap policies, deployment policies and infrastructure tagging, multi-tenancy enablement, and more. So let's get started. There are two ways to get started with the Apprenda VM. You can go through the partners page on the Azure website shown on the screen, or through the Azure Marketplace using the portal. For this demo, we will be using the portal. There's one thing though that I want to show before we log in and start the process. Through the partners page, if you click on the Apprenda 5.5 Express link, you'll be able to see information on the pricing of building this particular VM. The important thing to note is that the first month is free, and after that you will be charged the prices shown on the page. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to log in through the Azure portal. Once we log in to the Azure portal, the first thing we're going to do is click on the Marketplace tile and search for the Apprenda Express image. Once we find the Apprenda Express image, we're going to go ahead and click it. There's information here about what Apprenda is and how the VM is structured, and some pricing information as well. After we read through this, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the Create link. This will take us to some information about the machine that we're going to be creating. The first thing we have to set up is the host name of this particular machine. In this particular example, I'm going to be using Apprenda Azure as the host name for my particular machine. The next step is to configure a username that I'm going to be using to log into this VM. There's one thing that's very important to note is that there's 3 accounts that you cannot use because they're already in use by the image. Those accounts are Apprenda Admin, Apprenda System, and Apprenda Manager. So make sure you pick something that's different than those 3 accounts. For this particular demo, I will be using Apprenda Demo as the account, and I'm going to be setting up a password. After setting up the password, there's one more thing that I can configure, or I can just leave the default of this certified machine, and that is the pricing tier. For Apprenda, we recommend that you use at least a machine that's A4 or above for performance reasons. For this particular demo, I'm going to be using A4, which is the standard that comes pre-configured with this particular machine. I'm going to go ahead and click Create and let the Azure portal build the machine for me. So I'm going to leave it building, and I'm going to come back once this machine has been created. Once the machine has been created, we're going to use Remote Desktop to log in and kick off the rest of the configuration process. You'll see how easy it is after you log into the machine to have Apprenda up and running in a matter of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and click Connect to download the remote desktop connection to that particular VM that I just created. Once the machine loads, it has been pre-configured to run another script that will prep the machine for Apprenda. The first thing the script is going to do is finish the installation of SQL Server Express based on this machine's configuration. After SQL Server Express has been configured, it will automatically kick off the Apprenda Express installation process. You'll see the first thing it's going to do is start the installation, or in this case, finish the installation of SQL Server 2012 Express. I'm going to hit Enter and have PowerShell kick off the script that will finish the configuration process. This is going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to come back once this process is done. Now that the SQL Server installation has completed, the next step is to hit enter and let the configuration script set up Apprenda Express on this brand new VM. The script is going to ask you for your email address that will be used to set up the first account that can log in to the Apprenda platform. I'm going to type in my email address, hit enter, and then let the script do the rest. I'm going to come back once the installation is done. The installation process of Apprenda does a series of steps. It's going to validate that the machine has the pre-required software and settings in order to run the Apprenda platform. If it finds an issue, it's going to automatically repair or install the necessary software, and then it will continue to install the Apprenda platform. It will copy all the files from the installation package. It will deploy the Apprenda platform portals and the Apprenda platform services, deploy all of the necessary databases, and set up that initial account that we just specified. After the installation process is completed, you'll be able to log into Apprenda and deploy your first application. So we'll come back to that once the installation process is done. Once the installation of Apprenda completes, you'll get a pop-up window with information with the credentials to log into the Apprenda platform SQL Server that was configured with this installation. What we're going to do now is I'm going to click the OK button, and that's going to launch Chrome and automatically take me to the Apprenda developer portal. After that, we're going to log in and deploy a sample application to finish the demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and that's going to launch Chrome. After Chrome launches, it will take me to the Apprenda developer portal for this particular installation of Apprenda in this VM. What I'm going to do in the meantime while the developer portal loads is to go to the Apprenda documentation page and get the URL for one of our sample applications. I'm going to go to docs.apprenda.com/downloads. And I'm going to scroll down to the timecard application and right-click on the timecard.zip file and copy the link address. I'm then going to go back to my developer portal and I'm going to put in the information for the account that I specified during the application. The username is going to be the email address that you set up for the installation, and the password is going to be Apprenda admin. After the login process is complete, I'm going to click on the Try New Developer Portal UX. We're going to be using the brand new Apprenda Developer Portal to deploy this application. I'm going to maximize the screen. Now I'm taken to the Apprenda Developer Portal. As you can see, I have currently no applications deployed on this environment, which makes sense because it's a brand new environment. I'm going to be clicking on the New button, set up an application name, in this case timecard, and an alias of timecard. An alias has to be unique across the system because it's used to identify the application in the Apprenda platform, and it's also used to build the URL to access this particular application. I'm going to click here where it says application package, and I'm going to paste that link for the example that we got from the documentation page. Click paste. I'm going to hit save and continue. This is going to create my application and automatically download that application's archive or zip package from the documentation page and upload it to the Apprenda platform for deployment. During this process, the Apprenda platform is creating the application in the system, it's downloading that archive, and then uploading it to the Apprenda platform for discovery. The Apprenda platform goes through that zip file and tries to identify the different components that are part of this application. In this particular case, it identified that the application had a website, a WCF service, and a database. I'm not going to be modifying any of the default settings for this application. I'm simply going to go back to the dashboard page for timecard and click on the Promote button. I'm going to hit Promote, and now the promotion process started. The platform is going through the underlying infrastructure, which in this case is this one VM, and deploying the different components of my application. It's instantiating the website in IIS. It's starting the WCF service and making sure that there are no issues starting them up. And it's deploying the database that's going to be part of the application. It's then going to wire all of those components together and give me back a URL that I can use to access my application. This process should take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the video and come back once the process is done. Once the promotion process is completed, you'll be taken to the dashboard page for your brand new timecard application. You'll see that the application is now in the sandbox stage, which means that it has been deployed and is currently running. I'm going to click the launch button, which will take us to that application. You'll see the URL is using the alias that was configured, and the platform has appended the v1, signifying that this application's version 1 is in sandbox and we're currently testing it. As you can tell, the application successfully launched. After a few minutes, we have an application deployed in this brand new Apprenda Certified VM running on the Azure Marketplace. This concludes the current video, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to deploy the Apprenda Certified VM in Azure. For more information, we encourage you to reach out to us at the links provided. And if you want to learn more about Apprenda, feel free to access our documentation page